All right, so you made it to Phuket. Where did you stay?
We stayed at the JW Marriott, and the prices really on that place are pretty reasonable. I was looking at it was like $300 to $400 per night, or you could book it on points for 54-ish to 74-ish thousand Marriott points per night. I was actually the Phuket part of this trip was a work incentive trip for my husband, so I didn't actually pay for that hotel.
Even better.
I know, yeah. So, but really reasonable prices. So it's a good option if you have Marriott points or if you're just looking for a reasonable hotel. I mean, thankfully, hotels in Thailand generally are not super expensive. The rooms were very comfortable. I was trying to think of a way to describe the room, and I'm going to call it old fashioned, but I don't. That sounds probably worse than it was. It was very comfortable. It was a good size, like had everything you need, but it wasn't an ultra modern room. It wasn't, sleek and sophisticated. It was very kind of, rustic maybe. Some of that is because you're in Thailand, and I think that's the look they were going for.
Sure.
Some of it is, I think, parts of the hotel probably could use a bit of a refresh. And I know they were working on some renovations too. I think one of the restaurants. But it could definitely use a little facelift. But still, really enjoyed it. The resort itself was really nice. There were 3 pools. There was a little turtle rescue right on the property. Pretty small, but you could go over and they had like handicapped turtles swimming around. There was this one guy, I forget his name. I want to say Speedy maybe. And he had like a shell problem, and I forget what they call it, but it's one where he's too buoyant, so he can't dive down. So he just like floats in a circle around the top of and he was real
Speedy.
cute. He was real cute. And then they do actually turtle feedings a couple times a week. So you can go and see them when they feed the turtles. So that was a fun little thing, especially if you're traveling with kids. I'm sure they would enjoy going over to see that. The food was overall really good at the hotel. I was really happy with the food. The breakfast was excellent. It was a buffet breakfast. I don't like buffets, but and it did get crowded toward the later hours in the morning, but early in the morning, which is great because I was like wide awake at 6 a.m. So we would go early and it was calm.
Thank you, jet lag.
Yeah, exactly. And so it wasn't a crazy buffet, but the food was excellent. They had some really good. They had all the international stuff if you really wanted to get into that. My husband loves eating non-breakfast food when we're traveling. They had a whole dim sum section. I personally just can't get into that stuff for breakfast. I can't. I try. But they had some really amazing fresh fruit bar with juices and yogurts and everything you could ever want. But they had a French toast station. And it was the JW Signature French Toast. It had its own stand.
Oh, hello.
It was so delicious. It was bruleed on the outside, so it was crispy, but soft, and it was a real thick brioche bread.
Oh, yeah.
And then they had a mixed berry kind of compote that they had with it that you could put on. It was so good. I ate it every morning, and we were there with a whole bunch of people that my husband works with. So we knew people at breakfast, or he did. And more than one person would come over and be like, "Hey, have you tried that French toast?" And we'd all talk about the French toast. It was delicious. So food was great. Overall, I really liked the hotel. Like I said, not super fancy, not super modern, but really jungle vibes on the outside. Lots of, plants, and you feel like you're in Thailand. The staff was really nice. They have a spa. I did not go to the spa, and I'm usually very big into the spa, but they have on the beach little huts set up where you can get massages from the local Thai ladies. And that's generally not something I'm doing, is getting the public massage. I'm generally I'll pay to have the nice fancy room. But it was $15 for an hour.
Okay. You could be convinced, right?
We went every single day.
No way.
Every day. You just have to get over the fact that you're laying on a mat with 12 of your best friends, touching, and it's a little weird.
What is it? It's like a group massage? What is it?
They had those gym mats that we would have in school that would Velcro to the wall. They had like those laying down, and they'd have, 8 people laying next to each other, and then in front, like perpendicular, a couple more.
Wow.
So that was weird.
So they're really like going for volume there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like later in the day, it got very busy. Earlier in the morning, it wasn't so bad. Once you got over the fact that like this is not going to be a massage in a spa, they're all going to be talking to each other. You're going to probably be touching someone that you don't want to touch. You realize like you're still getting a $15 massage for an hour, and that's amazing. And it just felt like the right thing to do. Like it felt very Thai. So I loved it. Absolutely loved it. It was great.
So did you do anything else besides the $15 beach massages?
I did. We had a couple activities. The first one was the one I was really looking forward to. We went to the Phuket Elephant Sanctuary. Okay. And I had heard lots of things, people saying you don't do the things with the elephants because they get treated very poorly. And this one seemed like it was super on the up and up. I mean, I guess you never really know, but we went in and they first have you watch a video about elephant sanctuaries in Thailand and why they are an ethical sanctuary. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it seemed all totally legit. This was, I want to say like 25, 30 acres, and they had 12 rescued elephants. And they take older elephants or ones that are injured, ones that have been working. And so they get those elephants and they come here. They can roam free. Every elephant has their own like caretaker that literally just follows them around all day. Okay. Because they were saying they don't have gates on the outside of their reserve. And so the handler needs to make sure that the elephant doesn't leave. Yeah. And they had like a canopy walkway that you could walk and just like look down on the elephants. It was really cool. We were able to feed them, and that's the only interaction that you get with the elephants. They don't do riding. They don't do the bathing. They don't make the elephants work or, do shows or anything like that. But we were able to feed them fruit, which was really fun. It was really cute to see them up close. I really enjoyed it. It was nice. I think it seemed like a really great place, and it was cool to see the elephants up close and just like walk around on this canopy to see them just chilling and eating. And so that was really fun. Okay. We also did an ATV excursion. Ooh. This was something my husband picked. I went along. I've done ATVs before, and I quite enjoyed them. We did them when we were in South Caicos along the beach, and I had a great time. This was not that. This was like extreme ATV through the muddy jungle. Okay. With a bunch of people who wanted to go super fast, and like you're going through ditches and mud and like puddles. It was not my speed. So halfway through, they take a break. And as soon as we got back to the break, I was like, I'm done. I'm out. So I sent my husband back with the group to finish the tour. And I stayed back, and it was fine. And he enjoyed himself, and it was great.
Okay. But everyone did their own thing.
It was. And he was happy that I wasn't there anymore. And I was happy that I wasn't there anymore. So everyone was happy. He got to go faster. So
true.
He really
no one
enjoyed
is back complaining.
Yeah. So it was all good, though.
Good.